is February the 18th, and yes, this is my second video in 2 days. I am trying to catch up on a lot of the news, and I wanted to come back on a live with you. If you didn't catch my first video today, it's about the city of Oldsmar and how they had their water facility almost hacked, and it could have been a very poisonous and deadly experience for the people living in that city and county of Pinellas. So today, now our second video, we are talking about Kia Motors, which is, of course, the U.S. Auto manufacturer. They are a very, very big company. They have, I believe, 32,000 employees. They do a lot of revenue, and they 32,000 employees and 15 billion of revenue every year. So it's a huge company, and they have suffered a ransomware attack. And as of yesterday, a lot of their systems are down. We're talking about their apps, their phone services, their payment systems, the owner's portal, the internal sites used by their dealerships, even part of the tools, the diagnostic equipment that the mechanics use. Because when you're such a big company like Kia, you can't just have 15 different systems. Your payment system has to work with your leasing system, which has to work with the service center, which then has to work with sales, because let's just say someone buys a car and 5 years from now, you want your system to know that in 5 years, the person wants to get a new car and someone needs to call them. And that ties into the phone system, and that ties into the CRM because they have to put notes. So Kia has this huge, sophisticated system, and unfortunately, it looks like hackers have now compromised their system. So I wanted to talk about what's happening with that and what you should do in this type of scenario. So as I mentioned, they have about 32,000 employees over the US. And according to Bleeping Computers, they apparently got a file of what is happening when you try to open up one of the programs, open up a Word document, whatever the case is. So I'm going to read it to you so that way you can actually see how, when someone gets ransomware, and ransomware is when they disrupt your service and now they want you to pay. And if you don't pay, they're not going to allow you to get your information back. In this case, it's not a lot of money. If you're doing $15 billion, these hackers are asking for 404 Bitcoin. And so 404 Bitcoin equates to about $20 million. So $15 billion operation, and they want $20 million for you to for you to get your information back and get back to working. That actually sounds like a good deal. However, the thing is, who are you paying? Who are you paying this ransomware to? If right now Kia decides, you know what, we're going to go ahead and pay this ransom. That way our information can be retrieved. That way our client's information is not going to be publicized. Because when you go to Kia, if you go to a car dealership, any car dealership, what are they asking you? They're asking you for your name, your email address, your social, your driver license. They're asking maybe they're going to want requests of, they're pulling your credit history. I mean, they're getting all of this information. Obviously your bank account, because they're going to set you up with their leasing. So like all of this right now, it seems to be compromised. And these hackers are saying, hey, pay us 20 million. You're making 15 billion. I think that's an even exchange. However, you're making a deal with thieves. You're making a deal with bad guys. How do you know? How can you prove to 100% that when you pay this $20 million, when they pay this $20 million, the hackers don't turn around in 6 months from now and go back and say, hey, yeah, we were partying really hard and we blew the $20 million. We actually still have your information on one of our flash drives. And if you don't pay us another $20 million, we're going to go ahead and release it. Or they may one day say, you know what? We're actually going through your information, and I know we took $20 million for you, but we also had access to the emails. And man, there's some juicy stuff in here. There's some stuff about what you do and how you operate, your forms, your non-disclosure agreements that you may have signed, your patent, your forward thinking, your models, everything like that. So there's so much information that these hackers probably have right now. And Kia is in a position where, man, if we pay this $20 million, the $20 million, whatever, but do we really get our information back? Also, if we pay this $20 million and then the hackers still release the information, or maybe they sell that information to someone else, now we're going to have to pay someone else, because you're going to be a target in your back if you pay the ransom. If you have a small business and you get ransom, you are now on a list. And I can guarantee you that those hackers are selling your information, and they're selling, hey, yep, we were able to get paid, so go ahead and try again, because obviously you don't want to look bad in front of your customers. So these hackers are now giving Kia a time frame, saying if you don't pay us within a specific time frame, we're going to increase it to 600 Bitcoins or $30 million. So as you can see, they're not playing around. And as I mentioned, apparently there is some information that got leaked as far as what happens. So I'm going to read it for you. It says your files, backups, and shadow copies. So it's saying your original files, your backups, because when hackers get into your system, one of the first things that they go to is they go to your backups, because they know that if they can affect your backup and then they can affect the original copy, then you're really screwed. Because if you don't have a backup, you don't have the original copy, you need your information back, right? And they're saying that they're unavailable until you pay for a decryption tool. So again, the decryption tool is essentially the tool that they're going to use and give you, so that way when you are trying to get your information back, you run this tool against the file, against the program, and then it unlocks it. So it says if no contact is made in 3 business days after the infection, the first portion of data will be shared to public at, and then it lists where it's going to share it. So again, this could be employees' information, customers' information, customer social, driver license, all birth certificates, everything that when you go and buy a car from Kia or from any car dealership, that personal identifiable information can now be leaked. And then now it says to save your data from destruction, it's saying a few things. Do not reset or shut down your PC. Do not rename, move, delete the encrypted and README files, and do not use any recovery tools that is aimed to restore encrypted files. So they're saying don't touch any of the data, pay us and we'll get you your data back. And then from there, it even tells you where to go to pay us. And that's one of the problems with Bitcoin right now. There's a lot of controversy because when you pay this, when anybody pays the ransom and they're paying via Bitcoin, it's not traceable. And it's not traceable to the fact that if Kia were to pay this $20 million, let's just say, for example, they are not sure of who is receiving that because of the way the cryptocurrency is. It's hidden. It was made to be anonymous. So they can't go back and tell the FBI, hey, you know what? Here's the receipt. We paid Joe here in Texas. Go knock on his door, get us his money back, put him in jail. There's nothing like that. So we're going to see, since this story had been released, Kia was able to get their website back up. But apparently people are still reporting that like if you look at their Twitter, for example, people are complaining, hey, we're calling your one of your stores, one of your dealerships. We're not able to get through. So we see that the phone system still has a problem, and it's just bad. So we're going to continue to monitor this. It is so great to be back. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like and subscribe, so that way in the future you can be notified of us going live in our different social media platforms. And tomorrow I'm going to be doing another video. I mean, for 2 weeks now, like I said, I was sick. I wasn't able to do any videos, so I got a lot of in me. I got a lot of energy. There's been a lot of hacking news, and I want to talk about it. I want to talk about how to protect your business from cyber attacks. And if you need any of our services, always please reach out, and we'll be more than happy to see how we can help you and mitigate your risk, because that is what cybersecurity is all about, mitigating your risk. Don't worry about the whole IT support. That's anybody can fix computers. Anybody can install a hard drive. Anybody can make your computer go faster. But mitigating your cyber risk is what you need to make sure your IT company is focusing on. And this is how we can help you if you're in South Florida. And if you're watching this and you're not in South Florida, I actually have many different IT partners. I do a podcast with Brian. He's actually a national company with Zach IT, and I would love to introduce you. So just in case you're not thinking like, man, I would love to talk to you, Andre, but I'm in a different state, different city from you. I have definitely a lot of resources that I can recommend you to. So until